Strictly music, only music and nothing else. Let's go ahead and get right into an album that I found extraordinarily enjoyable, and that is Doechii, Alligator Bites, Never Heal. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and break this down, and you know how we do it. Track by track, bar for bar, line for line. What do I think about Doechii's Alligator Bites, Never Heal? And I do feel the need to preface this by saying this album was extraordinarily enjoyable. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Track 1, Stinkapoo. Doechii opens this up with a unique flow and a slow, deliberate beat as she delivers bars, which I can enjoy. Her subject matter on this track is interesting to say the least, but the lyrics and the bars are there nonetheless. And we can always enjoy some bars. And that was Stinkapoo, track 1. Now, track 2, Bullfrog. Big fan of the beat on this track. 2 tracks in, and Doechii is rapping, and I'm here for it. Very reminiscent of an older era of rap, and she is hitting the nail on the head with this style. 2 tracks in, I am thoroughly impressed. So as we approach track 3, Boiled Peanuts, an interesting way to open this track up. With the vintage rap beat, Doechii would fit right in with the earlier era of hip hop. She would fit right in. She's bringing a style of rap back to the current state of music that we often don't see too many female rappers today favor. She's bringing it back a little bit, and you don't see that too often. She's definitely in a different lane. It's not a lane that we haven't seen before. It's just a lane that we don't see very often in 2024, and we haven't seen it very often in the decade of the 2010s. And she is bringing it back, and she's doing it very well. This is a jacket that fits her snugly, and she wears it well. Now, track 4, Denial is a River. An interesting intro once again, as she's joined by what is depicted to be a fairy of some kind, or maybe a friend, and she continues to rap. 4 tracks in, and Doechii appears to be in a class all of her own, as she appears to take inspiration from rappers like Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott and a few other rappers of that time frame. And to start this project, she is not following the current trope of female rap, and I can enjoy that she stepped away from that to get back to what we know to be a more pure form of female rap. Because female rap, as good as it is currently, and as popular as it is currently, there was a time where it was also just as popular, and female rap was just as dominant. Now, I would not make the argument that today's era of female rap is the golden era, but I have heard that argument brought up, and I do believe that there was a time where female rap was just as dominant, and Doechii seems to be a bit time displaced as she resembles female rappers from that particular era as she steps away from the ones in this particular era, and I do find that enjoyable. Now, track 5, Catfish. Doechii almost seems, as I said before, time displaced, but she's rapping as she's on a classic boom bap rap beat, which is a statement. I feel it's a statement. She runs through these beats, and she is making a statement by dominating these beats in the way that she is. Her pen is definitely different than her contemporary, and she states that on this track. They cannot compare, as she schools them. She is aware that her pen is different, and she is aware that she's better, and I am starting to believe her. As we're 5 tracks in, I haven't heard much like this in current mainstream rap music from any female artist, so I am starting to side with Doechii a bit in her ability to create, and her penmanship and her delivery. She's making a believer out of me 1 track at a time, and I'm here for it. and that was track 5, Catfish. Now track 6, Skip. This is easily the most diverse track on the project so far, and my personal favorite. The production, I love that. They threw a bit of that chopped and screwed in there that we love to see. So big ups to production on that. Very enjoyable track. 6 tracks in, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this project. As we get to track 7, Hide and Seek. Another unique track. So it would appear at this point, as we round out to track 7, that the project is taking a bit of a turn, and this track is very dreamlike and is very reminiscent of Kendrick Lamar's flow when he gets in this bag. And if you know Kendrick Lamar well enough, you know what bag I'm talking about. So feel free to listen to track 7, Hide and Seek by Doechii, and then compare it with some Kendrick if you are in fact a Kendrick fan, and you should see the resemblance on this, as she even states on this track, "Don't kill my vibe," which is another Kendrick reference. Doechii is well versed in the art form that is hip hop, the art form that is rap, and I thoroughly enjoy that from her. I think she is doing good work on this track, and I thoroughly enjoy it, and I am here for it in every sense of the word. Now track 8, Bloom. Another meaningful intro which I thoroughly enjoy as the project continues down this new path that we took a turn on around track 6, track 7. This song is incredible. The sound resembles early R&B, however the intro and the outro take majority of this track, which is by all means an interlude. It may not be considered one, but by all standards and metrics, it would be one. And I would have loved to hear more of the actual substance of the song, which is more of the middle when we do hear a bit from Doechii. And I thought that was insane, but overall, it was a good track, and the part that she did showcase was insane for the brief time that it was showcased, and that was track 8, Bloom. So shout out to Bloom. That's also going to be getting a bit more burn from me. It's on my personal list of favorites for this project. Now track 9, Wait. Doechii shows how deep her bag is on the hook, and then she joins herself with that pseudo Kendrick mixed with Doechii amalgamation flow that we seen on track 7, showing once again not only can she rap, but she is also well versed in the culture and the art form that is rap, completely separating her from her female contemporaries in 2024. Big fan of how she carries this track as well, and I'm here for it, man. 9 tracks in, and I'm here for it. She's making a believer out of me. By track 9, I'm fully engulfed in all things Doechii, and she definitely is doing her quote-unquote big one, as they say, on this project, Alligator Bites Never Heal. It says a lot about the state of female rap. The bag is deep. The bag is deep on female rap culture, and I love that. Now track 10, Death Roll, another Alligator reference. Huge fan of the intro on this, and the beat is crazy. The song is easily in the conversation for best song on the project. Nothing less than top 3 contention. Big fan of this track. Big ups to Doechii, and this is easily one of the best beats on the project. So track 10, Death Roll, flames. It's in the contention. It's in the conversation for. It's in the conversation for the best track on here, and it's definitely no less than top 3 contention. So shout out to Doechii on that. Now track 11, Prophet. Dope Doechii track. It adds to the overall project. Not one of the stronger tracks on the project, but I'm a big fan of the outro on this track, and it helps the album. And this is an album, ladies and gentlemen, by all standards and metrics. This is an album, and it's a very, very good one. Now, track 12, Boom Bap, as she kind of plays on the reference that she makes boom bap rap. Top 5 contention for the song, and the beat is also in the same conversation, but I wouldn't argue an even higher ranking Huge fan of how the beat carries out as well. I always love when the beat carries out to kind of give production their shine, because when making a song, there is a lot that goes into it, more than just the artist being great. You do have an engineering, you do have a production, and sometimes you have an engineering team and or a production team. So I do like when they, on these bigger projects, when they let the beat carry out and give whoever made it a bit of shine, give them a bit of a burn, give them a bit of burn. But track 12 is definitely in top 5 contention. If not, maybe top 3. I would say top 5 though. Now track 13, Nissan Altima. And we all know the jokes about Nissan Altimas. If you don't know, then you're out of the loop. There is a joke about women and Nissan Altimas, or even black people and Nissan Altimas. So go ahead to Urban Dictionary, hit Google, and let me know what you come back with. An upbeat song this time around, and Doechii does what she does and runs through the beat. I have yet to see a beat on here that Doechii didn't dismantle. And this beat is no different. This girl can rap, not huge on the hook, but that's just me. I'm sure the hook works for some people. It doesn't work for me personally, but this is a very dope track. And again, it adds more gasoline and more fuel to the fire. That is Miss Doechii's Alligator Bites Never Heal album, which is altogether just a magnificent album. As we begin to approach the tail end of it, I have yet to be disappointed. Now, track 14, GTFO by Doechii and Cunt Fetish, joined by her only feature on the project, Cunt Fetish. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not familiar with the artist, so bear with me, but by all it seems to be Cunt Fetish. This is a dope track. It's definitely not one of the stronger tracks on the project. It doesn't evoke the same feelings as many of the other tracks on this project, but it does fit the overall theme. So it doesn't take away from the project, but it doesn't add to the project. It's there. It doesn't take away, but it doesn't add. So that was track for 14. Not the best look for her only feature to be on a song where it doesn't really add much to the project, as she has so many other great tracks on here, but it doesn't take away from the project, so we can't complain. Now track 15, big fan of Doechii's flow on this track, and the beat is nasty work. This track is dope. A lot is to be said about this project and how cohesive it is, and it lacks, if any, if it even has any, skips from front to back. This is a very enjoyable body of work. As we reach the tail end of this project, I'm trying to think if it has any skips on it, and I don't really think so. I think you can get everything on this track, everything on this project, a good listen, and you won't be disappointed. Now, track 16, Slide. Track 16, Slide, I definitely enjoyed that. Easily one of the best songs on the project. You could even make the argument that this track is the best song on the project. It definitely has the most mainstream appeal, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. This track is dope. Top 3 contention. It may have to battle for top 1 against track 10, which is Death Roll, but it's up there and it's good. And that was track 16, Slide. Now track 17, Fireflies. The list of flows Doechii displays on this project is numerous. In track 17, she showcases yet another one, and I'm a big fan of it. The beat does her plenty of favors as she switches it out towards the end and allows herself to harmonize, because the beat also switches, and her bag is deep on this track. And I would say that would finish out my top 3 contention. I would say Slide, Fireflies, and Death Roll are top 3 on this project, and you can number them however you like. I think I lean more towards Death Roll being number 1, Slide being number 2, Fireflies being number 3. I do believe Slide and Death Roll are both battling for the top spot. I would say about 10 Death Roll and 9.8 Slide if we had to grade them on a scale of 1 to 10, and I would give Fireflies maybe an 8.5. But all 3 of those tracks are in the conversation, and you can number them how you like, and I wouldn't be able to argue with you. The fact that you even have that many songs that can invoke that feeling from you says a lot about this body of work here. She has some bangers on here, and they're not conventional bangers that you usually see from some of the artists that we deal with on the female side of things. But this is still flames nonetheless, and track 17, Fireflies, is in that conversation. Now, track 18, this track adds to the project as well, and that's Beverly Hills. It really adds to the body of work. This is a very cohesive body of work sonically, and this track further enhances that theme. Very enjoyable track. I liked it a lot, and it may even get some more burn from me personally. Very enjoyable, great choice to help carry out the project, as it is only one track away from the end of the project. It is track 18, and this project has 19 tracks. So to be able to even further sew up the overall theme and continue to add to the project all the way to the end, it shows the commitment to the body of work and the dedication that goes into making sure from the top to the bottom this whole entire project is going to mold together and it's gonna slap. So shout out to Doechii for what we like to call attention to detail. And you will be surprised how many artists may fall victim to not putting that attention to detail all the way through, especially on these longer bodies of work. Now, track 19, Alligator Bites Never Healed, named after the album. A softer track to end the project. As we started on a more rap-heavy, slightly more intense note, I like the choice to end the project with the softer tracks to carry it out. Big ups to production. The beat is nasty work. This beat is nasty work. And all in all, this project is phenomenal. From the production to the engineering to Doechii's multiple flows and rapping ability, this album, in my opinion, is in the conversation to be album of the year. Now, do I think it is album of the year? That leaves a lot to be discussed. I would have to sit down and come up with a cohesive list of all the albums I feel like are on it, and then I would have them go at it. And if you want to see me do that, get in the comments and let me know that you want to see me do that. And we could pick an album of the year ourselves here on Strictly Music, Only Music, and Nothing Else. Because, you know, we got some of the best opinions in the game. Because we talk about Strictly Music, Only Music, and Nothing Else. Just the music, only the music, and nothing else. I do think this can be in the conversation for album of the year. The outro on this last track, it states that everyone can go where you're going. And I think Doechii embodies that on this project. She very well may be in a class of her own. And in terms of this project, she is in a class of her own. Overall, as an artist, who knows? Maybe there's someone out there that can contend with her. But on this particular body of work, she's in a class of her own. And she states that, or someone rather states that on the outro of this track, everyone can go where you're going. And I don't think everyone can go where Doechii's going. I don't think everyone can do what Doechii does. This is a very, very, very talented artist on an extraordinary body of work. And that was Doechii's Alligator Bites Never Heal. And if you didn't go get that, I'm going to tell you one thing. Go get that. This is a very, 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 very enjoyable body of work. If you're a genuine hip-hop fan, if you enjoy Kendrick Lamar, if you enjoy the older style of rap, if you enjoy lyricism with a bit of harmonization and variation, she showed some of her R&B talents. Doechii seems a bit time displaced. Even her R&B was reminiscent of an older era, of the Badu era. Doechii is well versed in what we like to call rap. And she adds to the overall molding and melting pot that is today's female rap. The fact that we have artists like Doechii doing things like this is even more to be said about the women in the industry. They are extraordinarily talented, and Doechii has no shortage of talent. I'm a big fan of this project. Big fan of this project. Strictly music, only music and nothing else. Doechii, alligator bites never heal. They might not. Get involved, go get that.